Yo, the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Ant Smash Productions or its affiliates.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Smash coming at you with another episode of the Smashcast. All ears. Uh, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's about to be the end of 2023, bro. I'm trying to get this out by December 21st. No, I'm gonna get this out by December 21st. Yo, get this out right in time for the new year. Something to listen to over the holidays. I think I'm gonna drop a new one next week, the week after, as a matter of fact, or start the new year off with something else. Um, Hey guys, how you doing? How's it going? I appreciate all the love I've been getting over the last couple of months. We really been trying to get things going uh with the podcast. It's been a while since I've dropped one of these episodes because I've been focused on other things. I've been focused on a lot of things. A lot's happened and a lot hasn't been happening, but a lot's happened. And Smashcast Alive is we've been revamping with that. So like even that with the like we changed the name from Smashcast Live to Smashcast Alive because I want people to know that like we're alive. Like we're not just live. Like we were never live. We never went live. So, but it was just a name like oh we live. Like we got energy. That's what it was supposed to be. But also it's like we were never live. So I changed it to alive because like we're here. We're alive. Like that's obvious because we're doing this. But it's also it means like literally we're alive. Like we have soul and spirit and energy with ourselves in ourselves, and that's what it's supposed to mean. The Smash cast, the cast of people in Smash's life, are alive, and so that's the real meaning that we're alive in the moment, as opposed to being there for the moment. We're in the moment, as opposed to being there for the moment. Um, so yeah, I wanted to do this for the holiday because I've been around this time of the year, man. A lot of people feel they start getting they feel down for various reasons. They feel lonely. They feel they get upset because we start to lament over things that we've lost, things we've had, things we don't have, which I you could argue which one's worse. I don't know which one's worse. Um, but I was like I'm upset because like every time with this like every time around this year I always get upset because my father's not here anymore. My father he died like 8 years ago. Back yeah it was 8 years October. And Christmas was his favorite time of the year, and it's as crappy of a relationship me and him had. Like he always livened up around Christmas, and we always tried to make Christmas like peaceful and loving and fun. It's just that over the last couple of years before he died, it just the magic was dying. It wasn't what it used to. I don't know about dying, but yeah, it was dying. It was being polluted. It was. It was being polluted by anger and anxiety and greed. Anger I remember my mother getting mad at me, and I said this on one of the other podcasts. As a matter of fact, last year's holiday special. Uh, The greatest gift I ever got was wisdom from my father about not being so greedy and respecting what my mother has to slave for. Like he literally, I was upset because I got the least amount of gifts last 1 year, and my father pulled me aside. I'm a teenager. I'm a teenager, or I think I was in my early mid-teens, and I was upset because I didn't get as many gifts as my brother and sister. And my father pulled me aside. He put me in a room. He said, "How dare you get upset? You don't know what your mother has to go through." He gave me that speech, and I was half having it, and I was like half like, "Get out of here! I ain't trying to hear this." Um, but he was right. Everything he said was absolutely right. Like, how dare I feel that way? And there was another year before that where, what is it? My sister got more presents than me and my brother, and we were like, "Why did she get more presents than us?" And my mother said something. I forgot what. She was just like, "Stop complaining" or something like that, or I don't know. I don't remember. And there was just another year where was my father was really going. This motherfucker. These. I was trying not to curse for the first 12 minutes. These people keep driving near my window. Anyway, so there was another year where I think it was like the year before he died that my sister gave my father a card, and it was talk about "Pa, we love you," and he was reading it, and we all read our cards out loud. And yeah, he was like, "Pa, I love you," and he was something, 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 and he couldn't finish it. He just couldn't finish it, and he didn't start crying. He literally said, "I can't finish reading this." Yeah, and I don't know where that card is. I don't know what was on that card. I could probably ask my sister if she remembers, but she probably wouldn't be up for it. But it was things like that where he was fading, and we the dementia was slowly getting to him over time, and it 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 got in between all of our relationships, because that's what leadership does when it starts at the head, and then there's a trickle effect, and it hits all the other points. Like my parents were always afraid of me, my brother, and my sister arguing with each other, and they didn't want the relation. They don't want the relationship that they have with their siblings, and it's we didn't want that. Like the three of us don't want that for each other. Also, at the if it was gonna be because if our relationships were gonna ebb, it was because of our own individual issues, not because of we were just angry because Ma and Pa are angry. That's not at all what we were trying to do. But even with all these issues that we had, like I still loved my father. I still respected him, but I won't lie. My respect for him was dying, and I miss him. I miss him every day. I think about him every day. To this day, to this day, to this day, I think about him every day, and especially this time of year. It hurts. It hurts because I've talked about this a number of times in my in other podcasts. It's living now. At the age of 17, this was my first actual experience with like my. It's not my first experience. It's my hardest experience with death. My closest experience with death. I've been to funerals before. I was there for my father's grandmother, not grandmother, when my father's mother died. We had to put down one of our dogs, but I wasn't close to the dog like that. It was still sad because it's my dog, but it was my grandmother's dog. Um, and for other family members, my mother's cousin, or she was my cousin, I don't remember, but we've done funerals, and my but I've never had. This is my father, so this is my first male figure. This is what I'm supposed to be comparing all men to this figure, and I never had that. I never had a positive experience with. I didn't have the greatest experience with this male figure. I didn't have the love and the relationship with this figure that I wanted, that either of us wanted. We didn't. We didn't agree. We butted heads more often than not. It wasn't just because of ego. It was because there were times where he factually was incorrect. Like we would argue. Like there was this one time we argued over what is it, Bill Bixby Hulk, and I told him, and my father forgot that in the comics, his name is Robert Bruce Banner, but in the show he was David Banner, and I tried to remind him that yo, David was his father, not him, not the main, not Bruce Banner. Bruce's first name is Robert, not it's not even Bruce, it's Robert. We just call him Bruce because Bruce. How often do you hear Bruce? But yeah, and my father was gung ho on believing that in the comics he was David. It's like no, he's not David. David's his father. In the comics, David's his father. In the show, that's David we follow. And it was things like that. That what seems like a small argument, that's a small thing, a small disagreement, would turn into something greater, and we couldn't get over that. The best thing would be to just like stop. One of us would just need to stop talking, and that's how we got over it. And when your relationship is like that with anybody, how do you deal with that? Lo and behold, um, that you live with this person, that you came from his body, and so then you couple the death of this individual with the death of your dog. You've had to put down your dog, like not my grandmother's dog. That didn't hit me as much as putting down my other dog, who was the one that I really grew up with. Because I had him when I was it 2007, 9 years old. And then we had to put him down when, what was it, 2021? Hold on. Okay. 2021. So I was 23. So it's been about 2 years. And it was horrible. That hurt me, and that still hurts me to this day because we have this was my man, this was my nephew, and we I did I did another podcast about this. I never treated him. I don't. No, that's not true. That's not true. I didn't treat him the way he should have been treated. We never took care of him like we were supposed to. And I take responsibility for that. Yes, I was a kid. I was a literal child. I was 9 years old. You expect a 9 year old to take care of a dog? You must be stupid. Oh, some 9 year olds can do it. Okay, good for them, bro. Most 9 year olds don't know how to take care, don't know how to wipe their ass, bro. Let alone take care of a dog. It's about to be 14 minutes. I can curse now. They don't know how to wipe their ass, let alone take care of a dog. So, why Why should I put that on myself? Because it's true. He was a pug. So pugs need they while lazy, they still need a good amount of attention because they have the face folds. They have when they get a lot of earwax because their ears are closed. When dogs, the vet told us this, when a lot of dogs, any dog with like its ear folded over, can get wax more. They can get more wax because the ear doesn't isn't allowed to breathe, and the wax doesn't. What is it? It doesn't dry off and flake away, or drain properly through the body. So the wax just builds up. And so you with pugs you have to clean their ears like once a week maybe, I think. And their face, same with their face. And it's harder to brush their teeth because their faces are so smushed in. And then they also have like issues with hips and joints, but honestly with this dude he didn't get that until he was older. And that was just general arthritis he had. Um and so anyway, I grew up with this dog. I lived with him and I treated him and I took care of him the most when I was younger, and especially when I was getting older. I definitely was like that's when my sister was stepping up and she was putting in more work. But when we were younger, I was taking care of him and a lot more, and I still I cared for him even more as a teenager than I did as a child, of course. But so I started to really see him as my nephew, almost like my son. And I know that's, bro. I don't care what nobody says, bro. That was my nephew, and I still feel guilty to this day that we did him that injustice of not taking care of him properly, even though we were kids. And I had to deal with this fact that when he went, it really like first my father, then him. It really made me realize that my childhood is is leaving me, and I'm this. It's not even about this isn't forever. This life isn't forever. It's about things ain't gonna be the same. Like this life, we have to. It's time to do things differently. We the way you've been doing things isn't gonna be the way it's gonna be forever, and you're going to have to change if you want to survive and then live. Because remember, survival and living are two different things. Gaining enough to eat to ensure warmth, health, and put food on the table, that's survival. Keeping the lights on, keeping the water running, that's survival. But living is your dream. It's what you want to do. It's what gets you up in the morning. That's living. But to know that when my dog died, you yes, you're 23. Yes, you're still young, but your childhood is ending. And that is what and to be honest, yo, that's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I'm holding back a lot of tears right now. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That's why I'm doing this podcast. Because I'm gonna be upfront with y'all. I ain't gonna be a bitch in this regard. Uh, I'm scared as fuck. I'm scared as fuck to grow up. I am. I'm gonna be honest. And I'm talking to everybody my age. I'm talking to everybody around my age. I'm talking to people younger than me. I'm talking to whoever's listening. But I'm mainly talking to people like me in my age group. I ain't just gonna keep this general or broad. I'm talking to people in my age group because we're living in a we're being forced to grow up in an age where there's nothing is set in stone. Nothing is it's not, I'm not even gonna say easy. Nothing worth doing is ever easy. I'm saying that everything we were taught, almost everything we were taught, is is able to be contradicted, or being abolished, or reconstructed, or deconstructed without even being reconstructed, or is being damned without examination, guilty till proven guilty even when proven innocent. It's 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 I'm not gonna just simply go on a tirade, but it we're living in an age where the world, especially this country, is becoming confused, and we barely know what to do about it. And we're just trying to figure out what we can do about it. And I gotta be honest, I don't know what's going on with Gaza, or the Middle East, or with the Jews and everybody dying, and I don't know what's going on overseas. I don't know nothing about that. I don't pay attention to any of that. I know that people are dying. We're at war, and we funded both wars. We helped both wars. That's what I know. And but that funding is taking money from somewhere, from elsewhere, and we could be putting it elsewhere. That I know. I don't focus on none of that because I'm steady over here trying to live. And I know we should be focused on not trying to make World War III. I know we should be, guys, but it's I gotta focus on my life. I gotta focus on my world. I got people here. I gotta focus on myself. I gotta be focused on other people. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't focus on what's happening across the seas because it involves my nation. It doesn't involve me, and that's how I'm protesting that. I'm focusing on myself because right now it's the holiday season, and I don't. I didn't say all that just to say all that. I said all that. I said all that because it's that's how deep this is. It's the holiday season, and I'm gonna be 26 next month, and I'm not a kid anymore. Once ads, I'm not gonna be a kid anymore. I'm not gonna be a. I'm young. I'm still young. I'm not 30. I'm not 36, so I'm gonna be 26. So I'm still young. Even then, depending on who you ask, 36 is still young. But I'm gonna be 26, and I'm not a kid anymore. Like I knew I wasn't a kid anymore when I turned 25. Like that's when I was 24, I was still like, you can still give me passes for doing certain things. Like you could give a 24-year-old a bit of a pass, but 25, that's when you look at it like, yo, stop, you gotta stop fucking up. And then now I'm about to be 26. It's like I'm not allowed to fuck up anymore. I'm really not allowed at this point. I have to get my shit together. Like I'm allowed passes when I'm allowed certain passes, but and so, and I've asked myself, what does this mean to grow up? What is this? What does it mean? Does it mean just getting a job? Does it mean Does this mean getting a job, paying bills, trying to have a kid? What does this mean? Because I look at everybody around me, and people my age having children. People I went to school with having kids. They got kids already. Oh my God. People older than me, like a little bit older than me, they got kids. And I just look at that like, what the fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers? We just graduated not too long ago. And you already got kids, and you got kids on the way. And they cool with it. Or so it looks. I love this dude. This is my little man. Like, yo, like I ain't never, yo, I never, bro. Listen, I get it. Accidents happen. Sometimes, sometimes the rubber rips. But what the fuck? Um, some people genuinely wanted kids that early, and it's like, yo, like, listen, if you wanted a kid that early, I don't suggest it. I don't suggest it at all. That's me being nice. I don't suggest it at all. Why the fuck you having a child that early? You can't even take care of yourself, let alone you gonna bring life into this world. You don't even like this motherfucker you had the kid with, and you just want to fucking you bringing this kid into this world. But I see people my age, and they have children, or they have a full time job, they already have a house, or they're in an apartment. And I was looking at and I look at people like that, and I've known these people, and it makes me feel a kind of way. And you're not supposed, and I know you're not supposed to compare yourself to other people. You're not supposed to do that because you don't know if it's real. You don't know if that's true. You don't know how they feel. You don't know what's going on in their world. Yeah, okay, they have a full time job, but they could have a garbage family life. Yeah, they're able to pay the bills, but they could be with a partner that doesn't do anything, or insert insert scale tip here. So that's why you don't compare yourself, because you don't have all the pieces. Um, but then we also should be able to I don't want to say flex, but put out our accomplishments, our achievements. Like I do want to say flex, but it's more like what Ali used to do. How he knew he was the shit. He knew he was doing the right thing, and he wasn't just showboating. He was like, yo, like I know I'm right. I know I'm the shit. I'm right. Like I'm the greatest, but I'm also humble as hell. Like I feel like we should be able to put our dick on the table every now and then. I do. I genuinely do, because like it's more for us than to make you feel bad. It's for us, not to make you feel bad. It's for us. Like I feel it's taking pride in what you've done. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's a sense of pride, ego stroke, if you want to be like that. But also at the same time, we have to look at it. The people looking at it, we also shouldn't internalize that like we're failures, because we're not failures unless you've really been failing. That's different. But like in my instance, I'm not a failure. I'm 26. Motherfucker. I'm gonna be 26 for another 3 weeks. 4 at this time. 4. It's Saturday. But I'm not gonna be 26 for like almost another month. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 weeks. Yeah. Um, but I'm not a failure. I just took a different path. I've been on a different path. Some people handle things differently, and that's how they handled it. And that's how you gotta look at it, because if you don't, you're gonna drive yourself mad with fear and envy. Like, I don't. When my father died, he died in October 2015. So my entire family took all of 2016 off. We went into the hole. We, I don't even remember how all of 2016 went, but I know we were not in the public. Like, we were with our friends. We went, I'm lying because I started doing stand up, I think, in 2016. That's when I really started doing stand up. But, like, not like we weren't, we weren't in the public, like, we weren't out and about like that. We did what we felt like we needed to do, and then we went home, if that makes sense. We stayed mainly with our friends. We stayed in the house. We went out to, our biggest thing was my grandmother turned 90 that in 2016, and it was a giant milestone because how often does somebody go to 90? And my mother took it. She gathered whatever money she could muster, and we took a week trip to Vegas. We spent a week, like 5 days in Vegas, a work week, and we all needed that because we all just went through some crazy shit. Not a few months ago, my grandmother's birthday is in May. My father died in October. It's not even been a year. So we went, and it was much needed. It was excellent. Um, I wish we could go again. We rented an Airbnb. We all had our own rooms, I think. No, no. My sister and my grandmother shared a room, which was fire because they have their own rooms at the house. So fuck it. But we needed that time, and like I said, I started stand up in 2016, if I remember correctly. And my man Mael, he was doing a mic at Juan Murphy's. Shout out to both of them. Uh, and we it was the beginning of a new life at that time. It was like a volcano erupting, putting ash into the land, and from that volcanic ash comes new fertility, and it's a lot better to actually plant seeds in fertilized ground. So that's what I want to refer to it as, the calm after the storm, the volcanic winter. That's what I want to refer to 2016 as, actually. Volcanic winter. Yeah, I think that's a good way to call it, describe it. Um, so it's I don't I I would be doing a disservice to myself to compare my life to someone else's. Like, I could compare it in the sense of we are doing similar things, but to simply look down upon myself because I don't have what they have, it's like, yo, they didn't do what I did. I didn't do what they did. We're not the same. But then let's look at this. What if we went through similar experiences? What if somebody lost their father or mother, someone they were close with, around the same time, and they're doing other things? It's the same thing. Like, they're doing things that they want to do. They're doing other things that they wanted to do. And to that I say, more power to you. I'm not you. I'm not you. I wasn't able. You were able to do something else. Because I also have to say to that again. I have to say to that, like, more power to that person. But also, let's look at it like this as well. Some people, that's how they get through the situation. That's how they get through. Uh, they use that fuel as fuel. They use that ash is fire. They used it. They used the fertility to its fullest extent, and that's how they got through. I also will say, because I know people who uh, use work as a coping mechanism, not just in honor of this person I'm hauling ass. No, it's I can't face this music, so I have to face this music. That's what it's like. That it's like I don't want to call them a workaholic, but that's their distraction. That's their pacifier. That's their video games. That's their, I don't want to just say pacifier like they're being a baby, but it's like that's what gets them through the next fucking day, bro. That's what I mean. That's their video games. That's their porn. Their whatever. That's how they get through the next day, bro. That's what I mean. And I don't blame people for that because that's what you need to do. That's what you got to do. I always look at it like this. It's remember how you got here. Remember how you got to this situation because you should always whenever you're in doubt. Joey Diaz said something real. Whenever you fall off, always return home. That's not verbatim what he said. I don't remember it, but basically it's like that. Whenever you fall off, feel lost, always go back home. And I look at someone like Joey Diaz is you want to have like Joey's story is the hero's journey. He went through some crazy hard. He's an immigrant, if I remember right. He was born in Cuba, but he moved over into the Bronx, no, into not Bronx, I think Brooklyn, and then he went to Jersey. So, and then yeah, so he was. I think he's an immigrant, if I remember right. And then it's been a minute. It's been a minute. That's why it's been a minute since I. But he went and he had a tough life. His father died when he was like 3 years old, I think, 3 years or 3 months, something like that. And so he never really knew his father, and so he's had to have male role models in and out of his life. And his mother died when he was like 14, and he was bumping around doing, and he feels there was a point in time where he felt like he blamed himself for his mother's death. Because if he just when she was calling for him one night, and he didn't answer, and he feels like if he answered, she would still be alive. And how you put that on a child? Put that on a child. And he was doing what he did throughout his whole life. And he grew up in Jersey, North Bergen. He did what he did with his life, and now he's back in Jersey. That's right there. That's the full circle. That's the hero's journey. Now, the hero's journey doesn't always have you going full circle like that. Like, you literally don't end up where you once were. But full circle is in we reestablish what we taught in the beginning. That, like a principle, like new beginnings, which is what that is. The new beginning of going to Jersey, which was the beginning of the rest of his life. And then here he is back in Jersey, which is the beginning of the end of his life. Because from how he talks, this is it for him. This is where he's this is it for him. East Coast. I'm back in East Coast. I don't need to go anywhere else right now. Well, let's see what happens in the future. Um, but that's what I'm saying. It's this is this is the time a year where we all reflect on what has happened and what we have and what we don't have. I don't have my father anymore. I don't have my father anymore. I don't have my first dog anymore. My daughter just turned 11. My dog right here, she just turned 11. Sorry, I'm just waking you up. She just turned 11. I damn near cried when I was putting like she turned 11 on the second, and when I was putting the candles in her cake, I damn near cried. I damn near broke down because it really made me realize like she's almost gone. Like just yesterday you were 10 years old. Now you're about to be 11. And my grandmother right now is suffering dementia. And she wants my mother around her all the time. All the time. She wants me, my brother, and my sister there, but she mainly wants my mother. She mainly wants her. She can it feels like she can go without seeing the three of us, but my mother, she needs her. And that's been its own can of worms. My mother's had to get AIDS in and out of the house, and finally she got her on 24-hour care, but she's had to fight the system to get her this care. Calling them up almost every day, calling them up like how many times a day throughout the day with no help because I was helping her take care of her mother, but like not to the extent of her and my sister because mainly because I'm a dude, but yeah, my grandmother didn't want to be touched by a guy, but like she didn't want to be showered, which happens. But also, it's I was dealing with my own things as well at the same time, and I wasn't. I guess I wasn't as attentive as I could have been, regardless of the situation. But I was attentive. Um, but also, my grandmother's like 96 right now, so that math is off now that I said it because my grandmother was not. She's like 97. Yeah, it has to be 97. My father died at 8 years ago. Dude, my math is off. My grandmother is in her late 90s, bruh. That's what's up. Right now, she's in her late 90s. And she's ready to die. And I'm not making jokes. She actually wants to die. Uh, she said that to my face. Said that to my mother's face how many a time. She said that to the doctors. She wants to die. And she's envious of her family because her family's dying before and she's ready to go. So, uh, that's another piece of life that I have to see that. I have to see like, which is making me rethink how I think about life and death. Where it's like everybody's steady trying to live long. Like these people are trying to make us live longer. AI, miracle pills, all this and all that. Meanwhile, this woman they're trying to make us live to 120. Meanwhile, this woman is at 97, ready to go. She hates the fact that she's still here. Not because she hates us, not because she hates herself, but she's ready to go, bro. And I'm not trying to put a pillow to her face. But if it's her honest decision, then what's stopping St. Peter? You feel me? So it's making me think about my thoughts on assisted suicide, which I was never against it, but I was never fully for it. But now I'm looking at it like doesn't seem too bad of an option right now at this point. To be honest with you, like if we're gonna be real. But that's a whole can of worms in itself, B. I've had that conversation turned argument with my mother. Not that I'm saying like, oh, we should do assisted suicide. No, it was like maybe like, is this not an option for not just for her but for anybody? And that was something I genuinely want to have a conversation with people about because this is really changing my whole perspective on life, man, and how we take care of ourselves and dementia, because all I keep hearing is cancer and dementia. That's what's getting everybody. If it ain't cancer or dementia, it's heart disease. Motherfuckers is dying because they get in a cardiac arrest. I'm tired because it's always those three. And this is it makes me think like in the next 6 years I'm gonna lose my dog and my grandmother. And Guys, I look. I'm sorry to be so grim on Christmas. As we near Christmas, I didn't want these cocksuckers outside. I'm sorry to be so grim on Christmas. I'm saying this 44 minutes in. I really am sorry to be this grim on Christmas. Um, I'm usually the holliest, jolliest fuck around, but like I said earlier, man, I've been feeling, I've been feeling upset, and I'm doing everything in my power to not become a curmudgeon, to not become old, and I'm not doing the moves that I want to do now. I'm not making the moves that I want to make right now, and I'm gathering the strength to do what I need to do. Um, it's hard. I'm not making excuses. Don't believe I'm looking for sympathy. I'm not making excuses. This is me venting and trying to help somebody else that's potentially my position, because these are genuine questions that I have with this world that I have to figure out for myself, because no matter what I look up and how many videos I look up, these questions aren't really getting answered too much, or at least I'm not getting the answers that that I want to hear. Most of the answers that I hear involve just powering through it. I don't get the answers that genuinely help me see the other side. And I think the best thing, honestly, I have to make my own answers. That's what it is. I have to make my own answers. And if they just so happen to align with what somebody else says, and so be it. Great. Um, like I'm basically looking at what's the point of life? Like, what's the meaning of life? If we're all here to live, is our what is our purpose? And honestly, you ask me personally, it's stability, stabilizing the ecosystem. That's it. Just playing our role in the ecological life cycle. The problem is that we're destroying it faster than we can fix it, and we've done more damage than possibly any other species ever, um, any other civilization, and uh, it really doesn't have to be this way. And we're trying to clean up potentially irreparable damage, socially, ecologically. Like, we don't, we don't. Why the fuck do we need to build rockets? That answer still doesn't make sense to me. Why we need to go into outer space? I get it now because the Earth is dying. Okay, now I'm getting into crazy ass territory. That's another podcast. That's a whole nother podcast. Let me not go down that path. But anyway, uh it realizing that I'm really not a kid anymore has scared me. It scares me to this day because I've dealt with over the last I don't even know how many years. I've been dealing with issues. I've been facing my over the last, I want to say 6 or so, a little over, probably about 6 years. I want to say 6 years, probably could be eight, somewhere between 6 to 8 years. I've been fighting my demons, doing my best to fight them. I've lost more than I've won. My demons led to porn addiction. My demons lead to laziness. They lead to fear. I've been told most of my life that I'm ugly, that I ain't shit, and I've been told that physically, like verbally told that by my peers. And then I've had constant reminders from life because I look down and I see why they would say that. Now, to be honest, I myself never felt ugly. I was just told to the point, I was just constantly berated to the point where I started to feel that way subconsciously and then consciously. Um, and I looked for help, and help would help to a point. Adults can only do so much, and I'm not a physical guy because I was always afraid of what the adults would say and what the adults would do. I was told early on that violence is not the answer. Then, but your way of talking isn't working. They're still doing what they're doing. Ignore them. I can't because I share the same grade with them. So I've had to live with this. I've had to live with my issues, and they've manifested in different ways. Porn addiction was a desire. It was just a desire to be loved physically, sexually. I've never had that. I'm not afraid to admit that. Right now, I'm 100. Hold on, let me check. I am. Fuck is it? I'm about to go on my porn blocker app. Shout out to Detoxify. I fucking love this thing. And the app itself is tanking right now, but like it's having an issue. Um, Not staying up, but right now I'm 139 days sober from porn addiction. From porn usage, I should say. I haven't had a relapse in over 139 days. That is 60. Yeah, that's almost 5 months. Well, let me make sure my math is right. 39 divided by 30. Yeah, yeah, it's 4.6 months. So it's almost 5 months. I'm almost 5 months clean. I've been trying to do my 3 months for years. For years, I've been trying to do it. I've failed more times than I'd like, and I needed to get back up and to try harder. And even this year, like I've what is it? So that by that logic, it's December. That means I haven't beat my meat to porn since what is it? Was it 5 months? July. July. Late. Since almost July. Since about July. Fire. That doesn't mean I haven't used that means okay, so that's porn use. I've stilled relapse. I have two clocks. One where I beat my meat to porn, and another one where I watch porn because old habits die hard. So I haven't watched it. I haven't used it, but I watched it. And I did fall back off that wagon from time to time because I still wanted the dopamine kick. But now I don't need that to yeah, please myself. And I feel great. I don't need to burn that time. I barely bring my phone with me into the bathroom anymore. I don't need to. I don't really need to. Other than to play like some music while I'm in the shower. That's it. But that's where I got the porn addiction from a needing to feel respected and loved, and on a deeper level than just on a deeper level than just from my peers. And I love I love myself, and it makes me love myself even more and respect myself. That's just one piece of this whole pie in terms of getting the fixing myself. That was one of my biggest things my biggest hurdles, and I'm glad I finally got over that. And it's only going to go up from here. I feel like 2024 is going to be a crazy year. I feel like it's going to be a great year. And back in 2019, I had this feeling in my bones that 2020 was going to be a nutty ass year. I genuinely felt that way. Genuinely felt that way. Lo and behold, I was right because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was right. It's going to be crazy because we were just hearing about COVID at the end of 2019. And it was like, what the fuck? Fuck COVID. Suck my dick, COVID, nigga. I don't believe shit. Everything was starting to shut down. And then I was like, I didn't believe shit until I was like, I literally said, yo, don't, unless Times Square shuts down, I don't want to hear shit. Nigga, all of Manhattan shut down. I said, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? That's when I started to, I was like, yo, this shit is real, dog. They shut down Manhattan. They shut down Times Square. Yeah. And I have a similar feeling to 2024, but it feels good. It feels like things are really going to happen. But that's another thing is that you can't wait for them to happen. You got to make them happen. Yeah, there's a good feeling. Yeah, I can have all the good feelings in the world, but at the end of the day, if I'm sitting in the chair I'm sitting in right now, not doing nothing, playing Skyrim and Pokemon when I don't need to be, then nothing's going to happen. Like, this is part of the reality that I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not. Yes, I'm scared. Do I honestly want to do certain things? Do I want to do a lot of things? No. Do I want to clean my toilet? No. No, I don't. I really don't. And it doesn't even take that long to do. I just don't want to fucking do it. But it needs to happen. Do I want to get up in the morning and fucking do shit I don't want to do? Whatever the fuck it is, I don't want to fucking do it. No. But I have to do it. And I've had to restructure things. I've had to, like right now, I'm going to say this too, bro. I got laid off. I got laid off. I don't work at I ain't got a job right now. I'm in between jobs. Uh, used to work at a radio station. I don't do that no more. Cause budget cuts. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I was looking either to go up in the company or look elsewhere for work because it wasn't paying the bills. I'm in debt to up my wazoo, bro, and I need to get out. And that was one of the things that also has been hitting me. Not the fact that I'm laid off. It's because for a guy like me, there's work has been a bit limited. Uh, at the same time, I haven't been looking as hard as I should be. But also, I'm not complaining, but I can't do a lot of laborious jobs because of my feet. Literally, the way that my feet are structured, I have flat feet, and I have tendonitis as well. So if I'm on my feet for extended periods of time, I'm severely in pain, and I get severely inflamed. Inflamed. So I have to do desk jobs, but desk jobs they want people who with experience, which or at least credentials, which puts me in a deficit. So I have to look elsewhere for work. I have to be more creative with my jobs. That just means I have to look elsewhere. That's all that means. But anyway, but I was feeling, I was genuinely having feelings of anxiety because I was fucking up at my old job. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. I was forgetting things. I was letting my anxiety take over, forgetting things, not watching my tongue sometimes. Like, I wouldn't say nothing bad or crazy, but sometimes I did. Sometimes I shouldn't have. I should have put my foot in my mouth. That's it. Stop talking. But mainly it was forgetting. And I've been having that issue for a while, and I have sleep apnea. So is it the sleep apnea that's kicking in? Yes, but I know mainly it's because of my anxiety. Because whenever you have 1,000 things going on, those 1,000 things are where your mind is when you're not focused at the task at hand. And that my anxiety comes from many a thing. Starting this business, my father, other life experiences. It's just how it is. And we have to narrow that down. Some people handle anxiety better than others. I'm not going to compare myself to other people, but I know I've been fucking up, and I've sat down with my boss. I've talked to my boss about it, and my boss, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, my ex boss was a low key father figure for me. He was, and I'm glad I had that man in my life as long as I did because I needed that. He was the best boss I've ever had. Facts. We joke. We were able to joke. I was able to come to him with my problems. He's helped me out on a bunch of issues, um, personal and professional. And he was a man, bro. He's a man. I genuinely felt safe in his presence. There were times where I even felt upset. Like whenever I would upset him, I genuinely felt like fuck, upset him. Um, and I respected him, and he knew. And I would ask him, I was like, yo, why are you being so lenient on me? And he would say, because you hurt yourself a lot more than I could hurt you. Like that's why you seem to really kick yourself a lot harder. So I don't need to really hammer nothing in like that because you seem to. It shows you care. Like that's where he was. Like he saw that I care and he saw that I want to do better. And it made me really feel safe in his presence. And he was overworked, and one of my goals was to help take the load off him. Um, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I did feel like a liability at sometimes, just because of my, just because of my how I talk, and it yeah. So I'm not there anymore, and I'm not upset. I'm not mad at him. He answers to a higher power, and that's the nature of the beast, bro. That's business. This time though, because I got laid off right before Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. And while this does feel like a bit of a vacation, it's not really a vacation. It's not. Because I can't just sit on my ass collecting unemployment. I've had to restructure, recalibrate, reestablish things in my life. The way I was doing things wasn't good. The way I was letting things happen wasn't good. Letting things fall to the wayside. So I've had to do this shake up. So I needed this to shake me up and put me in a different direction. Right now, in all honesty, I'm focused on trying to get myself out of as much debt as I can, while also doing my business, getting that together, and trying and just working on myself so I can move forward. That's and be better tomorrow than I was today, and especially yesterday. Because I'm tired of people talking about the past like the past is the past. Get fuck the past. I'm tired of hearing about that. I love the past. The past is beautiful. The past is beautiful. I don't tell the future to suck my dick. I never tell the future to suck my dick. I tell the future to suck my dick when I need to think about right now. I need to stop thinking about the future. I need to think about right now. I tell the past to suck my dick when I need to stop thinking about the past and start thinking about right now. It's the same thing, bro. And then sometimes you gotta say, yo, the present gotta go fuck itself. I gotta think about the future or the past. That's how it goes, bro. Stop telling the past to suck its dick. You need to learn from your mistakes. Learn from the past, bro. Learn from the past. That's why it's the past. That's why you look back at the past. You learn from the past, you live in the present, and you work for the future. That's how that goes. I tried to find another L word to go in there, bro, but that's how you do it. Learn from the past, live in the present, work for the future. That's how that goes, bro. Learn. I can't do the same thing I was doing yesterday. I can't be doing the same shit. Also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You can probably improve upon it, start a new project, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it because it don't need to be fixed. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this episode today because I needed to do this. I was supposed to be doing other stuff today, but meanwhile I was watching Chicken Run 1 and 2. 2 just dropped, and I'm not gonna lie, damn, I was watching, and I only put it on just as background noise. But then I got involved. I was rewatching that because I only just started rewatching Chicken Run, bro. I went years without catching that movie. And when I saw, bro, when I was watching this movie, bro, I saw my old apartment in the Bronx where I used to live before we moved to PK. And it's just like I saw everything, bro. I saw the living room, the kitchen, my parents' room, our room, the TV room, where my father's office was, the bathroom. I saw everything, bro. Watching that movie, and it was crazy, bro. And I thought this is fire, but this also isn't good because I'm over here. I'm supposed to be planning my next move, planning my life, planning how I'm supposed to be. That's what I was gonna do. One of my goals for today was, and I'm not doing it. I'm watching fucking Chicken Run. No disrespect to the movie. I love the movie, but I'm not getting my work done. And that was part of it, bro. Now I'm doing this. This is progress. This is work. This is getting things done. But it wasn't on the list. So there's that. I have to take that into consideration. I'm happy I'm doing this. I needed to do it. I made the executive decision that I had to do something, and this is one of the things that need to be done. This is what I feel like, and if I felt that way, then it's gotta be done. That being said, I need to get organized, and I suggest, and that's what I've been doing. I suggest everybody gets organized. You have to sit down and you have to write things out. You have to write your situation out. You have to sit down with yourself and be honest with yourself. I have notepads full of of my thoughts and feelings of why I feel like I have no confidence, why I feel like I feel so weak. I feel like a bitch. I feel like a pussy, bro. I feel like a pussy, bro, because I'm not doing the things that I need to do when I have the technology to do them. I just don't have the will. Why don't I have the will? Why do I lack the confidence in my abilities to do these things? Is it simply because I was bullied, or is it because I fear change as well? Because it's not just because I was bullied. It's not just because my brain was rewired to tell me I'm not shit. It's got to be more than that. It's because I fear change. I'm afraid of things being different. Not I don't want to say just different. I'm afraid of losing what I have currently. And I'm still exploring this definition, my own definition of my fear, my own fears of change and loss and success. Because I like, do I really fear these things? We fear getting better. Why do we fear getting better? I think it's because we've been told so long that we don't deserve it. So therefore, we're not going to go after it. And so we have to fight tooth and nail to make ourselves believe that we deserve these things. And I think that's really what a part of what growing up really is that we have to live our lives as we need to live them. And I think that's why we need to grow up, because if we don't do that, then we might as well just die. Because that's all we're really going to do at the end of the day. And I don't mean when we're fucking 90. I mean, you're working a job you don't want to be in longer than you need to be. Like you're working it because it pays the bills and it's digging you out of debt. Word. But are you just there because you're not doing what you need to do? You come home, you work your job, make your money. You come home, smoke some weed, take your shoes off. You take your shoes off, stretch your feet. You eat some food. You play the game for a bit. Take a shower, go to bed, do the same shit. You ain't doing whatever you feel like you need to do. I'm not saying you gotta do a podcast, write a book. No, you're not. And here's the thing, bro. If that's all you really want out of life, bro, to make your money stretch out and have fun on the weekends, I cool. If that's truly what you want, bro, and that's not you running from your problems or or something like that, alright then. That's all you, dog. But if you really want more, bro, and you ain't going for it, like that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell you straight up, that's what I'm doing. I'm being a pussy, bro. I'm not going for what I want. Like, yes, I'm doing a podcast. That's what I want. But I want to do stand up. I'm writing a book. I got other stories I need to write that I'm not working on. But then again, when I do write I do focus mainly on this book I'm writing. I ain't gonna get into that detail till the time is right. And I want to be a voice actor. And I have more time than ever now to do these things, but I'm not doing exactly what I need to do. And that needs to change. And I have to put in the work because it's me. It's all on me. It's not nobody else. I can't wait for me to snowball. I can't wait for somebody else to save me. No, I have to save myself. And I gotta figure out. I gotta actively work to install that change in myself. That means keep going into a routine, sitting down with myself, making markers, making, writing a routine, what I need. Don't put on the fucking Xbox. Just play music from your phone. Don't go on Netflix. Play just if you're going to turn the Xbox on, play YouTube. Just put on some just ambience music, and that's it. Turn your back to the TV screen and have at it. You only got that shit on just for music. That's it. That's it. Just music. You don't need nothing else. Stuff like that. Write out. I implore everybody, write out what you need to write. Write out what you gotta write. Write out what you need to do. Start from the beginning. Sit down with yourself. Write just even if it looks like spaghetti, jambalaya, ziti, whatever. Write it out. I need to do this. I need to do that. And if it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it not making sense at first, because you'll make it make sense over time. Take pride in the fact that you actually sat down and wrote. That's how it starts. And then you can go back and forth and um and make it make sense. Cause you'll make it make sense after you did that, after you put down the spaghetti. You're literally doing that, bro. And then that's how you do it. And the only way to do it is to do it. There's no there's no other way, bro. Grab a pen, grab a pad, write it down. You could do pencil if that makes you feel more comfortable. Write it down. It's that simple. And you have to do this every day for however long it takes, bro. And this is how we slowly change and work and fix and rewire our brain. And and that's how we get better. That's how we make ourselves better, bro. By by taking it one day at a time and making sure that every day we do at least one thing that changes our lives, that puts us in the right direction, that sets us out. So while yes, today I didn't do everything that I needed to do, that I set out to do. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I wasn't even planning on working on writing my life, organizing my life. I was planning on editing some videos. The Socrates Caribbean Carnival. That's what I was planning on editing. But I had that in my head, like that shit can wait till Monday. But then again, I was like, wait a minute, I plan on uploading a piece of that on Monday. So you see how the spaghetti is just it's I gotta put some sauce on that motherfucker for it to flow. So that's what I'm talking about. It's stuff like that, bro. You gotta write it out, pay attention to it, write, get organized, and write out everything that you're trying to do, and write how you can make time for each of that, bro. And also, let me say this, bro. Another reason why we have anxiety is because we're trying to do too many things. You're trying to do too many things. And I think I'm gonna end it with this topic, bro, because I don't want to make this too long. And I gotta take a piss. Actually, I'm gonna take a piss right now. Hold on. All right. So anyway, let me start wrapping it up. Damn, I ain't gonna lie, I forgot where I left off. Writing. Yeah, so that's how we change, man. That's how we change our ways, bro. Like we got too much going on. We're all trying to do too much. Stop trying to do too much. You gotta be. My man Team 3D Alpha just said this shit actually. He said, "Yo, stop being well, stop trying to be a jack of all trades, master of none. You got to specialize in one thing. All the greatest men specialized in one thing and then became generalist, which I agree. I adopted the jack of all trades mentality, but it doesn't make you great at much. You can do so much, but yes, you want to be versatile. You want to be useful. At the same time, though, you don't get the benefits of doing one thing. You don't get you like it's better. It's proven fact that it's best that you're good primarily at one thing, and then you have a bunch of secondary. You got secondary, tertiary, others, and then you got other stuff. Like I do too much. That's part of why. That's part of why I've been. Damn. That's part of why I've been going crazy, bro. Because I do too much. I try to get many things done. Four hustles. Like I'm sure you've heard of the five hustles. You gotta have five hustles. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, look, some people can do it. More power to you. God bless you. But I can't do that. Cause here's the thing. It's not that I can't do multiple things. It's that one thing has its own subsets. So like with the podcast, I'm not just a podcaster. I edit the videos. I have to check the technology. I have to move the technology. I have to check the volume. I check the audio. I have to check the lighting. I have to check the people. I have to make sure everything's right. Check the guests, make sure everybody's good. So I'm the roadie, the PR, the producer, the developer, the editor, the lighting guy, the key grip, the talent, and HR. I wear, and then that's just the podcast. It comes with so many things, bro. And we've talked about this on the podcast multiple times. And I'm not trying to complain anymore because I do enjoy having this level of power, and it's making me versatile like that. Like maybe I don't need to be on my feet. Maybe I need to do stay at home jobs, to edit other people's videos and whatnot, like stuff like that. Put myself on the market in that regard. Um, is it as reliable? No, but but is it closer to what I need to do, can do, and want to do? Yes. Yes. Do I just need to figure out how to get myself out there? Yes. Assemble a demo, email people, put myself on the market, let them know what's what. Use my newfound time to my advantage as opposed to sitting in the house watching Netflix all day. The fuck? Which isn't honestly what I'm really doing like that because I am working, but at the same time, I also need to be honest with myself. I'm not working as much as I could be. So that's what I mean. And that's why I'm doing this podcast right now. To let y'all know, to help you guys out. Focus on doing one thing. Because while I am focused on video editing and the podcast, not doing one thing comes with other things as well. So five hustles ain't gonna work for you. Just do three. You should honestly have three sets of incomes. That I agree with. That I wholly agree with. Like Jordan Peterson, he said he has his practice. He has all the talk work that he did, like the press work that he's been doing, because he does get paid to go to colleges. And then he has his book. And then what is it? When his practice fell off, or no, when his teaching fell off, he did still have his practice. So yeah, he had four, I think. Um, so he did still have his practice, and he still was doing appearances, and then he still had his book. So right now, he's living nice. He's living nice. Um. So yeah, bro. I do agree that you need more than one income. Now, some people they don't need more than one income because one income survive. They can survive off that, or they're they're studied enough to that whatever job they do, like let's say my man Isaac, he's worked in the kitchen, or my man Rob, he right now he's going back for his CNA training. Uh, you don't need more than one income because your job is versatile like that. You can work virtually at any hospital. You can work virtually at any kitchen. That's what I mean. But I do agree that you need to do more than one thing in that regard. Because when you in the kitchen, all you're doing is kitchen work. It doesn't come with much else. When you working in the CNA, I don't know what comes with that really, but uh, you know that world. When it comes to entertainment, so much other shit comes with it, and so it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to get overwhelmed with other stuff. I'm not saying like the kitchen isn't shit, but you know what goes into that, especially depending on the type of restaurant you're at. You have a very good idea going in what goes into that. With entertainment, most people don't know what goes into that because it's kept a secret on purpose. Or and so we have to find that out. And me, Isaac, we're all finding out what goes into this as we go along. And I'm letting y'all know straight up, this shit is not easy, bro. You have to want to do this. Just like everything else, you have to want to do it. And so I tell people, don't do anything you don't want to do unless you know you need to do it. Don't work a job you don't want to work unless you have to do it because it pays the bills. And while you're paying the bills, you need to be working your side hustle. That's how that fucking goes. Don't have no fucking kids until you're ready to have kids. Oh, you're never mentally ready to have kids, bro. Unless you're financially able, don't have no damn kids, bro. The fuck? I ain't having kids till like 34. I don't know if that makes me an old dad. I could give a fuck, bro. I'm living in my 20s right now, okay? Right now, I'm single, dingle, ready to mingle. Yeah, that's right. I'm not in a relationship anymore. I put it out there. That's another podcast, though, but that's me planting the seed right now. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up with this. Um, all right, yeah. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I don't want this to go on too long. I like I said, I am scared to grow up, and I think many of us are. Many of us are, and it's difficult to grow up. It's for some, it's easy. For some, it's difficult. Well, no, it's. I think it's difficult for everybody, but for some, it's just a bit easier. I think. I think honestly, we just need to take it one day at a time. Seek help as needed, and just be respectful of each other. I don't think there's no reason why we can't be respectful of each other. Most of the problems that happen in this world is because of the lack of kindness and respect. Sounds gay, but let's be real. That's what it is. That's what it is. There's also a lack of honesty. There's a lack of self-respect. There's a lack of respect for others. I genuinely believe that a lot of this world's issues are caused because of a lack of self-esteem and a lack of self-respect. Um, and it's only being made worse by, I'm gonna say this, by the attack on masculinity and fatherhood. And I ain't gonna lie, I had it in my head that I wanted the podcast to be primarily about that, and I did. I threw it in there, but I wasn't obvious. I wasn't just straight up saying it. Uh, but I am gonna say it here. Like I, a lot of us are growing up without father figures, without men in our lives. That and we've had to replace fathers, our biological fathers, with other men. And some of us go an extended period of time without having a male role model that clicks. My mother even said when her boyfriend was still here that there was a void of masculinity in this house. And even though, because at that point, it was just me, my brother, and our dog. We're the only dudes in the fucking house, and we're still teenagers. We're still kids in the mind. Yeah, we're doing other things, but we're doing adult stuff, but we're not grown up. Um, so that was a lot of. Oh, I forgot my sister's boyfriend at the time was there too. But still, though, like a lot of us are growing up with our fathers, and we need fathers. We need men. Um, we need each other. We need men and women. Two parent household. And to say we don't is preposterous. It's disgusting and it's disturbing and it's horrible and nothing but detrimental to society to say that. That's why the pinup for the thumbnail for this video is going to be a mammoth. I was going to go with an elephant, but I think a mammoth works as well, especially because it's Christmas time. Um, little fact for y'all. I'm sure you guys notice male elephants. Uh, they'll be with the herd till about till about their teenage life, and then they have to leave their mother herd, and explore the wilderness. And there's this whole thing about how they're alone most of their lives. That's actually a fault. That's actually false. Most male elephants will actually join bachelor herds, which is all men. And in those herds, they learn from each other as well as older elephants how to treat each other, how to treat females, and they learn how to defend themselves, how to fight, how to interact, and essentially not kill everything in sight. And they learn social bonds, social structure, social order. And my mother has a nasty habit of saying, "Oh, male elephants are just there for genetic diversity," which we could say the same damn thing for female elephants. And then I'll say that, and she'll say, "Oh, we can," but female elephants, they give birth, they teach each other how to live and how to do that, they help the environment. It's like the men do that same exact thing. They just do it differently. What the fuck are you talking about? And the older males will go out and they live a more nomadic lifestyle, but um, they still come in and out of bachelor herds, so they're not as independent as we once thought they were. And so that, I believe, is what we all have to do. We have to live this pseudo nomadic lifestyle of we have to go leave the nest, leave our parent herd, leave our nest, and go explore the world and do our own thing. And we have to assimilate into a group of other people and learn life from there. And learn from our elders, learn from the people before us, learn from the men and the women that were doing the things that we were doing or are trying to do. And we all need to learn from each other what we can do, what we can't do, what way is better, what way isn't better. And that's how we evolve and grow and help each other in our environment. That's how we grow up. We learn and we live and we do the work needed. And I think I'll end it right there. Thank y'all very much for listening. Um, I love y'all. I appreciate you guys for listening for so long. I honestly am debating on I can't put a video over this. I already shot the damn thing. So this is going to be in all ears. I kind of want to actually make it like a all ears Smashcast Alive hybrid. I don't know. I'll debate that. I think I'm just going to keep it all ears though. Um, I want to thank y'all very much. I know this time is tough. I know this time of year is really tough for a lot of people. I hope everything I said within this hour and a half helped you guys. Um, and I hope you guys get through this new year. I hope this next year is better for you guys. I hope you can see the light and better times are for you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fudging this to make an hour and a half because my fucking OCD is taking over. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Um, don't be angry. Be angry, be sad, cry, do what you need to do. You have to get back to your shit. Um, it's gonna be better if you make it better. You can't just sit on your balls and whack off all day. You can't just do that, guys. You gotta put in the work. Put in the work. That's the only way you're gonna make this better. Trust me. Firsthand.